The case of Lawrence Bittaker and Roy Norris, infamously known as the Toolbox Killers, represents one of the most chilling and depraved crime sprees in American history. Over 5 months in 1979, these two men unleashed a reign of terror across Southern California, kidnapping, torturing, raping, and murdering 5 teenage girls. Their crimes were marked by extreme brutality and a meticulously documented record of their victims' suffering, making the case a horrifying example of pure sadism. Lawrence Sigmund Bittaker, born in 1940, had a long history of criminal behavior, including assault, kidnapping, and rape. He was a manipulative and intelligent individual with a dark fascination for violence. Roy Lewis Norris, born in 1948, was a more impressionable and subservient figure, often described as Bittaker's willing accomplice, drawn into his twisted fantasies. The two men met in prison, where they reportedly fantasized about committing unspeakable acts upon their release. Their shared pathology would soon manifest in a series of crimes that shocked the nation and left an indelible mark of horror. Upon their release from prison, Bittaker and Norris wasted no time in putting their horrific plans into action. Their method was terrifyingly simple yet effective. They would cruise the streets of Southern California in Bittaker's van, preying on young girls who were hitchhiking or walking alone. The toolbox aspect of their moniker came from the various instruments of torture they carried in the van, which they would later use on their victims. Their first known victim was Lucinda Lynn Schaefer, a 16-year-old high school student who disappeared from Redondo Beach on June 24, 1979. She was abducted while hitchhiking. This set a chilling precedent for the crimes to come. Schaefer was subjected to hours of unspeakable torture, rape, and psychological torment before being strangled to death. Just over a month later, on July 8th, they abducted 18-year-old Andrea Hall near a shopping mall in Torrance. Hall suffered a similar fate, enduring prolonged torture before being murdered. These initial abductions revealed the duo's escalating depravity and their systematic approach to inflicting maximum pain and terror upon their victims. They meticulously planned their attacks, selecting isolated locations for their horrific acts and disposing of the bodies in remote areas, believing they could evade capture. As their crime spree continued, Bittaker and Norris grew bolder and increasingly sadistic. The torture they inflicted became more elaborate and prolonged, driven by Bittaker's desire to perfect his methods and Norris's chilling compliance. Their next victims were 15-year-old Jacqueline Leah Lamb and 16-year-old Jacqueline Doris Gilliam, abducted together from Redondo Beach on August 16, 1979. The two girls were held for days, subjected to unimaginable abuses before being brutally murdered. Their bodies were later found dumped in the mountains. The most disturbing aspect of their crimes emerged with the discovery that Bittaker had used a cassette tape recorder to record the torture sessions of some of their victims. These audio tapes captured the girls' screams, pleas, and the chilling voices of their tormentors. This gruesome evidence would later become a pivotal and agonizing part of the prosecution's case, providing an undeniable and visceral account of the terror the victims endured. The recordings revealed the callousness and glee with which Bittaker and Norris inflicted pain, demonstrating their utter lack of empathy and their profound enjoyment of their victims' suffering. Their final victim was 16-year-old Shirley Lynette Ledford, abducted on November 16, 1979, from Tahunga. Her torture session was reportedly the most extensive and horrific, lasting for several hours and meticulously recorded by Bittaker. She was finally strangled with a coat hanger. Her body was left near a residential area, setting the stage for their eventual capture. The relentless and brutal nature of the Toolbox Killers spree finally came to an end in late 1979. Their downfall began when Norris, perhaps overwhelmed by the sheer depravity of their actions or fearing Bittaker, confided in a friend about the murders. This friend, in turn, contacted the police. Norris was arrested on December 1st, 1979, and soon after, Lawrence Bittaker was apprehended. Once in custody, Roy Norris, seeking a plea deal to avoid the death penalty, cooperated extensively with investigators. He provided a detailed, chilling confession, recounting every horrific detail of the abductions, torture, rapes, and murders. His testimony, combined with the discovery of the cassette tape recordings of the victims' last moments and other physical evidence, provided an overwhelming case against Bittaker. Norris pleaded guilty to 5 counts of murder and agreed to testify against Bittaker in exchange for a sentence of life imprisonment without the possibility of parole. Lawrence Bittaker was tried separately. His trial was a harrowing ordeal, with the jury and court members forced to listen to excerpts from the torture tapes. The evidence presented, particularly the audio recordings, painted a horrifying picture of his sadistic nature. In 1981, Bittaker was found guilty of 5 counts of murder, kidnapping, conspiracy, and rape. He was sentenced to death. The Toolbox Killers case stands as one of the most disturbing examples of human cruelty. Lawrence Bittaker remained on death row in California for decades, continuing to exhibit his defiant and remorseless nature, until his death from natural causes on December 13, 2019, at the age of 79. Roy Norris, who had cooperated with authorities, served his life sentence until his death in prison on March 11, 2020. The legacy of Bittaker and Norris is one of unimaginable suffering inflicted upon innocent young lives. Their methodical approach to terror, coupled with the chilling audacity to record their crimes, left an indelible mark on the landscape of true crime. The case serves as a stark reminder of the darkest capabilities of human depravity and the profound importance of bringing such monstrous individuals to justice. The trauma inflicted by the Toolbox Killers resonated deeply within the communities they terrorized, leaving a lasting scar.